Hello, Elio. Good afternoon. I would like to tell you that I agree with everything that I read in the book School of Gods. I am a reader of several books, but the School of for Gods is really the best of the best.
Thank you.
I understand that responsibility is a question of the individual because the collective is something that distracts humanity. And I think that when you talk about self-observation is self-correction, I think that you mean that we have to administer our internal emotions, both the negative and the positive ones, because this state of emotions, it tells me a lot. And if I am paying attention to this state, I am able to balance myself without this pendular movement. Does it make sense to you, what I
This is
said?
right. Yes, this is right. Just observing it, not trying to change it. This is, when you are in a bad mood or in a negative emotions, you try to forget it or to escape from it or to, going to run or to go to the pub to have a beer or sex or whatever. But that is a great opportunity to be there and just to observe it, just to be aware of it, although it is the hell that is happening within yourself. Just to get closer and closer to that, you will see that will disappear in a few minutes if you are there, just to observe it and to be aware of it. And when it disappears from within, you will have all the solutions and the answers from outside. Because you are the doer, don't forget.
Perfeito, mas eu entendo que tanto emoções positivas.
Perfect, but I understand that both positive emotions that I call euphoria, as much as negatives that I call depressives, can be harmful.
Very good. Very good. Very good. That's nice. Like you saying that, it's great. It's great. Yeah. We are not looking for positive emotion. There is no positive emotion. There is just absence of negative emotions, absence of fear. And then this is interesting. It's difficult to understand without fear, what is going to happen. But, if you are fearless and timeless, you will see that life outside yourself is just a projection, just a reflection. It's whatever you see and touch is just what you are creating from within. And then you should never pay any attention to the outer world, but just to the inner one. And you will see that if you are living an inner difficulty, an inner fear or something like this, you have to understand that that is an opportunity. It is coming just for you to pay attention, to return to yourself. And when we forget, we need to have something that will remind you that the only life existing is you yourself. Only in this way, my dear friend, only in this way we can save the world.
I would like to understand how is it that our psychology, internal psychology, may even delay our evolution, to delay the change in our external world, our mind, our internal psychology, our psyche, the way we were brought up, the beliefs that our parents put in us, all that.
What you call psychology, it's your inner being. And we believe that the others outside ourselves can influence us or condition us. But that is just another way to justify ourselves, to justify our errors or mistakes, or our forgetfulness, our misunderstanding. But that is it's just to justify something missing within ourselves. If you read my book, The Dreamer will tell you that you are the dreamer, and the only one who can create a beautiful life or the hell, and not the others. Not even your family can do this. This is a way to escape, and to escape from being responsible for yourself. But you yourself are the only one who can create in the outer life, all the circumstances and events that can gratify you, that can promote you, that can evolve you. This is something that will come from within. You should never lean on somebody else's suggestions or attitudes or descriptions. You have to turn towards yourself and see that if you find difficult to some events in your life, if you think that there is someone that is hindering your way, is trying to find obstacles to your growth, it is just a lie. This is a lie, because only you yourself can create something that will satisfy you, it will fulfill you, and nobody else outside yourself can do this for you. Then you shouldn't ask for any help, not even from psychology or from some masters or some religion or some scientist. You have to find all the answers within yourself, because you are the only one who can create a beautiful life, or something that you will really understand. Right now, it seems that you are expecting from your family or from others that they can understand you. But if you read my book, you will see that your family doesn't come, first, but your family is another of your inventions and creation. You have to feed them. You have to nurture them through your understanding. Don't worry about the others. Don't worry about your family. Your family is just a projection of yourself.
I read the School of Gods some years ago, about 10 years ago, and there was I loved it, but there was a chapter in the book that you talked about art and artists. And I used to be an actress for 25 years. And I was really so upset. I couldn't understand, but because I loved the book, and it was this point that you were talking about, that if you want to go on, the art is just a process. You have to get out of it, of there. And it took me 6 years to understand what you meant, what you meant there. So this summer, my sister gave me this present.
All right,
and
good. Good.
Yeah, and I read it again and again, and it's my best friend. And every time I read something, it always comes in my mind so strongly how it was for you, if you want to answer, how it was for you to select all this amazing information. It was just a moment in your life, or it was just a process?
You mean to abandon the world of music?
No. to read to write this amazing information, how it was for you. It just came, it was a process inside you, it was a day that you woke up and it was clear?
Yes,
Just
yes,
in a
yes,
moment?
yes. It was it was a long time ago where I was I had a dialogue, if we can call it, a dialogue with myself. This is a technology of the dreamer, is a dialogue with yourself, you with yourself, you know, and this is very interesting. And you know, we try to hide, you know, the answers. We can say why, you know, there is so much injustice, why there are so many wars, why there is such a poverty in the world, and all those things. But we never have an answer to all this, because we do not want to turn towards ourselves and see that you yourself are the very one who is creating all that mess. And that, you know, this is difficult to accept. It is very difficult to accept, to admit. But you yourself are the creator. I mean, there is no one outside yourself that is creating, you know, poverty or wars or, you know, revolution or genocide. You know, you know, I understood that all and everything is within myself. When you realize this, you will see that the world is totally in peace. There is no conflict, there is no war, there is no poverty, but it is something that you have to find in yourself. And when you touch it within yourself, it will disappear from outside. Now you can say this is uncompassionate, this is a sort of egoism or something like this. But you know, when you understand that the world outside yourself is always you yourself, then you will see that there is no egoism, but it is just a turning towards yourself and see that all and everything is within yourself. Then if you treat yourself rightly, you will see that the world will get safe and you know, secure, and there will be no sickness, no poverty, no conflict, but just you yourself that who is projecting your right attitude, your understanding. You will never see death outside yourself, not even illnesses, because you and the world are one and the same thing. You cannot believe that you are someone within yourself and the world is something else. It is impossible, because you and the world are one. And then whatever is happening within yourself, you know, the world is just following.
Elio, what's the most important thing if you
What
are
is the most important thing if you're creating a school of being, like ESI?
Like a European School of Economics. Yes. It was just because I was disappointed with all the education in the world. Very disappointed. Then I wanted to create something that was never done before. You know, I believe in a new education where the student is not anymore a student, but he's a partner. He's working with the school to improve the school and the students and the professors also. I created the school that is a sort of community where each student and each professors and collaborators are working to improve themselves and the entire school. We do not fill up the students with the notions and concepts or useless ideas and second-hand knowledge, but we try to let them come out with their own ideas, their own dream, their own uniqueness. This is why the European School of Economics is a successful school. I don't believe that we can innovate the old knowledge and the old education. We cannot do that. We have to start with the revolution, that I called the individual revolution. It's something that no one can copy because it is guided with some principles coming from my books, the School for Gods and Technology of the Dreamer, which are giving to the students, some instruments or some device that they can really be successful without, entering in some sort of obsolete subjects, teaching subjects.
So I first saw your presentation when you and Bruce Lipton did something together. And it was like you were saying things that were so different than all the other, teachers of that sort of area. And it really caught my eye. And that was a while ago. And then I sort of got lost in that whole thing. I've been doing this kind of searching for a long time. And then, I don't know, 2 or so months ago, I'm like, Elio, like your name was calling me. And so I really did a deep dive, and I have been doing that. And like things within me are changing. I mean, like how I see myself in the world has completely transformed. But the thing is right now, and I should say, but the thing is right now, like about 3 weeks ago, I got a cold, and it's sort of like it won't let go. And I'm wondering if when people go through transformations like this, if there's some sort of like a catharsis or a purging, or have you heard of something like that before happening?
Yes, but I was not so much interested. Yeah.
I'm because I like, is this normal? It's like, or am I doing something completely wrong?
Yeah, but what is it? A sort of esoteric approach, or sort of physical
Yeah, I have a
experience?
cold, a really bad cold, and it won't let go.
It's very simple from my point of view. To stop with medicines, from my point of view, it's not. I am not a doctor, but from my point of view, is to stop with medicines and to have just 1 day of fasting, without water, 24 hours, without water, without food. 1 day,
What?
24 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, okay, thank you so much. The other question is, you mentioned earlier, and I hadn't heard you say this before, but like when you get to a point where you like the light bulb goes off, right? And you're like, and then you said you I don't know if the word was jump, but you go to a different dimension. And I mean, you are obviously a master at the work that you share with others. And so I can't imagine that you are in the same dimension as me and probably a lot of your students. Um, so how do you like reconcile that? How um, do you sort of power down, because I mean, you've got to be in that higher dimension.
But your experience is to enter into higher dimensions. Did you before?
I mean, I have been at a place where I was much happier and more successful, where I felt like I was at a, like a different, just having completely different experiences.
Yeah.
I didn't identify it as being in a different dimension. And so maybe I've got too lofty of an idea of what you're talking about. But I do feel that once you remember, as you say, who you are, that you do have a different perspective on everything and therefore a different experience, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right.
And so everything must just be different. Your perception, your experiences, everything.
Yeah, don't think about perceptions, because the perception it's a way to see the outer reality as a separate reality. You are creating your own reality. You are not perceiving it. Then it's not a perception, it's a projection. The world is just, as I said before, it's waiting for you to be created. The world is not just there, not even 1 second before this very one. You are creating the world as it is. And then the world is as it is because you are as you are. This is
Yes.
it's you don't need to perceive anything from the world. But to understand that if the world is not outside yourself, is not successful, or in disharmony, or conflict, it is just because that conflict is within yourself. Nobody can do anything against you but you yourself, really. Then if you want to have a successful life, you have to understand that success is an inner state of being. Like victory. Victory is an inner state of being. It's not then outside yourself is a consequence that you win a battle with some competitor or whatever, that you will be successful is just a consequence of your inner success.
And so you've said in the past that it's difficult and it takes time. And back to my first question is just, so maybe this is just part of the process that I'm going through as I shift, my projection and my understanding and my remembering and all those things fall into place. And maybe that's what's happening with me now.
Yes, probably it's what's happening to you now. But yeah, it's time is very tricky. Time. The what I call the device. The time is a device, and you have to understand that time is a sort of paint, a sort of coat that you place on your inner being to see what is going on within ourselves, because we do not know what is happening within ourselves. And only when the world becomes aggressive and violent towards us, we understand that something happened within ourselves that we were not aware of. Then if you are aware of, permanently, constantly about what is happening within yourself, nothing, can come against you from outside. It's impossible because you will be a guardian. You will be, the very doer of whatever is happening outside yourself. Don't separate the outer reality from your inner one, because the outer reality is just your inner one that sometimes you don't want to see and touch.
It has been so incredibly enlightening and humbling, and all these aha moments of, oh, that's why that's happening, and just like seeing it all coming from me, and the reflection that the world mirrors to me. I mean, it's just stunning. It's stunning. Right. And
right.
Yeah, it's so eye-opening. It's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I understand now why that,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I never had come across this word. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. So, I guess it's just a matter of time. They're talking about air quotes there,
Yeah.
a matter of time before all of me, sort of, gets on board, or whatever you know, whatever the right terminology is there. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from my whole
That's good.
heart, for
That's
your
good.
incredible teaching and your incredible work.
Thank
And
you
your
very much.
Good
Julia.
afternoon, Elio. Good afternoon, my friends. First of all, I'd like to thank, because this is a golden opportunity to be here. This night I had a dream that I have this dialogue, this conversation with you, Elio. So maybe this is a projection of a future dream. Well, the questions I had were already answered about art, about the conflicts. So before anything, I would like to thank from within my heart for your person, for this moment, for your bravery in having written this book, Technology of God, that is my best friend. I've abandoned the other books because this is my main friend. Every day I have a new question, and the question is in the book. And it's amazing. It is amazing that as many questions are answered in the book, the questions change, but the answers are always the same. The question I would like to ask, as I have time, we have to pay attention to time. The question is, the question is something very important about, I'd like you to answer the question of my friend, please. Not mine, because his is more important. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, of course.
Então, muito obrigado. A pergunta é do
So
nosso
thank you
amigo.
very much. The question is from our friend.
Gostaria de fazer essa pergunta, porque é uma pergunta muito boa. Só um segundinho.
Just a minute, please. Elio, could you please tell us how business can be a form of leverage of self-knowledge and self-improvement? And could you give us examples from your own trajectory?
The School for Gods and the Technology of the Dreamer are very practical. You know, they suggest to be practical and to create businesses. I am myself a businessman. I believe that we have to create businesses to let many people to realize their dreams, and this is why I entered into education and technology and hospitality and whatever. But you will see that all those businesses are supported by some principles which are very, very, very important, principles that you will find in my books. And you see that I speak about, vision and reality are one and the same. There is no gap, there is no distance between vision and reality. Inner states and the outer events are one and the same. Ethics and economics are one. Action and contemplation are one and the same. And financial power and love are one and the same. Then this is very interesting, to understand. That was my realization a long time ago. If you love yourself inside, you cannot be poor in the outer world. It's impossible. If you die less within yourself, you will find only prosperity in the outer world, abundance in the outer world. Then you have to stop dying within. This is a success. This is victory. To stop dying within. This is, all my businesses are guided and brought on with these principles, that the inner and the outer are one and the same. Then if you know how to intervene in your inner world and stop dying, because we die thousands of times during a day. Thousands of times we die. If you stop dying within, this is the law of success.
Elio, querido, muito obrigado. Acho que essa
Elio, my
resposta
dear, thank you very much. I think this answer
para mim e para
helps a lot for me and for several friends that are hearing this live.
o José
Hey,
Carlos
Marjorie,
também estava aqui com a gente.
Jose Carlos, that was also here, and
Depois que eu conheci a Escola dos Deuses,
after I met
como
the
uma
School
colega
for
também
Gods,
comentou aqui, a
just
minha
like
vida
one
interna, ela é
friend
desconstruída
mentioned,
e
my
constantemente
outer
ela é
life
desconstruída
was
para que uma nova
disconstructed
vida construída.
Very good.
so I can build a new life.
Constantemente que o meu ser se manifeste.
And I have to
Então, eu
permit
percebo
constantly
a
that
vida
my
interna
being
no externo
manifests.
se
So I
desconstrói,
realize
que
the
algo novo
outer world
diariamente,
disconstructs
todo agora
itself,
é construído.
so
Great,
something new is created daily.
great.
Por meio da educação,
Through education,
eu tenho
I
investido muito dentro do universo da
have invested a lot in the universe of art. I believe art inside of me that needs to go out to the world. And I thank you very much because your book helps me to create this art. It inspires me to bring new ideas to the world. Aggregating to this question, my being, when it creates, has the power to influence other people as dreamers.
Don't worry about the other dream. Don't worry about the others. Worry only about yourself. Worry only about yourself. You will see that if you are safe, if you are certain, if you are secure, the entire world is safe. Don't worry about the others. The others will follow. I created the school, the European School of Economics, not to teach the others, but to let them come out with their own dreams. Then if you are a dreamer, you will see that your environment will dream with you. And your businesses will improve exponentially. It's just get closer and closer to yourself and don't worry about the others. The others are just following.